Hello and welcome back to The Wandering Wind. I'm your host Gregory, and today I want to react and kind of discuss a piece of music released by an artist called Jay-Z. He's a rap and R&B type um, musician, and he recently released an album called The Story of O.J., or maybe it was a single, I don't know. I know they're saying something about it going platinum. Who knows? But I was interested because Philip DeFranco actually mentioned this song and said that it was pretty good. At least I think I remember him saying something about that, particularly. And I thought to myself, I want to see about what he's talking about. I want to kind of um, feel out the culture, feel out the overall message of that song. So let's just get into it. I'm going into this blind, absolutely no experience with Jay-Z's music, so I don't know I don't know what to expect, and I don't know what I'm gonna see, but hopefully it's good, and hopefully the message is also not polarizing, but rather uniting, because that's the kind of world I want to live in, is a world where the universal music can bring together universal bonds. So with that in mind, let's watch The Story of O.J. Rock Nation. Huh. I like the old style animation. Although this, mm, now this is definitely harkening back to the old days of animation, well before the age of the censorship. I feel like he's trying to say that he's still him no matter what. I do like the animation, even if it is the stereotyped versions of stuff. Okay, I like that. It had greetings from Florida because hmm, don't die over the neighborhood. He he's basically trying to tell people of that culture that instead of wasting riches on the things that everyone wants, invest in your future instead. At least that's what I'm getting. I know I'm not part of the culture, but I still want to see. So, and hmm, yeah, and this is, it's, yeah, he's trying to, hmm, basically, he's trying to push the he's trying to push the idea that investing in the future is the best idea, because if you just focus on today, you're not going to see tomorrow. You're not going to be able to make it to tomorrow. Instead, you're just going to be chained in the same system that we've been in for years. And not just the African American, but every culture, every subset of America, because I mean, poverty knows no race. Poverty is a universal thing. And I think even other cultures besides the African American culture can really take this message and take it to heart. Um, I think the idea that instead of being the typical, oh well, I'm rich now, I can do whatever the heck I want, I can spend it on whatever I want. Now you can start seeing Jay-Z's position of maybe instead of focusing on the temporary wealth, the temporary gains of just immediate instant gratification. Instead, we could, especially a lot of the rap culture, can start earning and saving for the future, saving for a better life for your children, I mean, he said something about buying a picture for 1 million, next year it was 2 million, the next year was 8 million. And that's inflation. That's the reality of wealth, of the intrinsic value of collectible and valuable possessions, is that eventually, if you invest in the right things, or if you purchase the right things that later on down the line will appreciate, then you can end up with so much more than just what you have in the beginning. And I mean, he was talking about how he could have bought his neighborhood for 2 million back then, and now it's 26 million for the same neighborhood. He could have bought that and he could have profited from it. I think that's a really great narrative to have, is that you've got to look at the big picture, not just the immediate pleasure of what money can give you, but what you can give on to your children and your descendants, especially in this day and age when the economy is so darn blown to all smithereens that you can never tell where your children's money is going to come from, because from one day to the next, the stock market and everything else is changing so much that you can't even begin to follow where it's going next. And Jay-Z really brings that home. I thought that was a very clear message. And to be honest, I thought it was a very interesting message to give, especially to his own culture, considering that, I mean, he was talking about don't die for the neighborhood, the gang fights and the gang wars and the drugs and all that. And he was trying to say, make something of yourself, making something of your life so your children can look back and say, look what Dad did for us. And I think that's a good idea to keep in mind, especially when you've got nothing else to do, when you've got nothing else that you can fall back on but that. So thank you guys for watching. This, I think, was a very good narrative. Granted, the animation was skewed towards the old style animation of the 40s and 50s, where race was just a fact and not an issue, and so therefore people didn't really care about the stereotypes being offensive. And granted, that's going to tick some people off, but at the same time, I think the idea of doing the animation in that style was intentional to bring attention to itself, so that way more people would hear the narrative behind the song and behind the animation, especially with the way it's presented, the way it's paced, and the underlying theme of the lyrics in the background. Black, my skin is black, my skin is yellow, my skin is... That is, I mean, it's the truth. We've got different cultures, we've got different races, but that doesn't mean that your race has to hold you back. And your race doesn't necessarily give you privilege either. I mean, I'm white. I'm not that privileged compared to other white people, or even some of the African American people I know. And I know several, because I know no boundaries when it comes to making friends. I see nothing more than people. I mean, yes, I can see that physically they're a different color, but that doesn't allow me to, forgive me, color my viewpoint of them, or my interpretation of their character. Rather, that just lets me know that, yeah, there are going to be some things that they think of in a different light from me, and I welcome that, because when you can see someone else's perspective, or when you can listen to another person's perspective, it really brings life into focus, I think. And so thank you, Jay-Z, for your very insightful, very thought-provoking animated music video. Thank you guys who watch. If you want to flame me down in the comments for being a white guy watching a black rapper's music video, go ahead. If you want to thank me for bringing my own perspective into this, comment sections down below. If you appreciated this, or if you liked this, please make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you want to, please subscribe for more thought-provoking questions and answers in the future. More reactions like this. Although most of my reactions are more hilarious than thought-provoking, but this was a necessary, serious reaction to a video. I mean, at first, I did have a little bit of levity, but then I got into it and I'm like, oh yeah, there's something serious behind the message. And to be honest, I do like the animation. It's not bad. It's just, it is what it is. Jay-Z chose that medium for a reason. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, this has been The Wandering Wind. I have been your host, Gregory. I hope to see you guys again soon. If you guys choose to come back, I will love that very much. If you choose to stay away, that's your prerogative, that's your choice. I do not begrudge you that at all. America is a free country. You have the right to choose who you want to watch and what you want to watch. I just ask that either way, if you didn't like the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, please give me your feedback and let me know why you didn't like it. Because I would love to hear another person's perspective on my videos, and that will allow me to only improve in how I make my videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.